Okay, I think we're good. I am just organizing my videos right now, putting them on my hard drive. So I forgot to do that. Forgot to do that. You know what you're in for. Um, I really need to organize my computer desk. It is a hot mess here. I'm gonna quickly do a little light cleaning while I'm waiting for people to come in and waiting for my videos to get on my hard drive. What a weird beginning. All right. Oof. I really need to get my shit together. Okay. Just clean up a bit while you guys come in. Alright. Hmm. Um. So, I guess welcome to the rant stream, the first rant stream of probably many. Probably a lot. Because you guys know, I like to talk. I am not shy about sharing my opinions and sharing, things that I'm passionate about and I care about and that I'm learning. Of course, I acknowledge that I am human. I'm not always right. So, yeah, it's just this is just a safe space for us to talk about the state of the world, the state of games. It's all interconnected, and it just falls very much in line with what I'm going to talk about today. Yeah, just need to wait for you guys to start coming in, and we shall be good. While I organize my area. Yeah. Plus, this is was intended to be a FF13 stream, but my fucking controller decided it did not want to work anymore. So I was like, okay, well, we talked about rant streams anyway, so I'm gonna use a rant stream today while I wait for my controller. It's supposed to arrive today, but it's in the next city over last I checked, so I doubt it's gonna come today. It might come tomorrow. If not, I'll figure out what I'm gonna do then. So, yeah. All right. Just gonna continue to wait for people to show up. It's also been over a week since I've streamed, so. Wishful, my sweet darling boy. Alright. I'm also feeling like near music should be what I should be playing in the background while I do this. I think that falls very in line with the topic that we're gonna be talking about, so I'm gonna set that up real quick. I also got tea. You have to have tea if you're gonna rant. Okay. Let's not do a playlist. Let's do an actual video. Hold on. Yeah, this is perfect. This is perfect music for this. Okay. I'm gonna set up my cross stitch. Oh god, I love. I might have to turn it down a bit though. Alright. I'm cross stitching Zagreus. Because I love him. We stand. Oh god, this soundtrack's so goated. Okay, of course my Discord has not posted that I'm live yet. Okay. I want to check on my controller. Probably not gonna arrive till tomorrow, so I'll figure out what to do for tomorrow. Okay. I guess I'm gonna just set up my cross stitch. So I've been doing two strands. So I guess, you know, for those who are gonna watch the VOD, I'll explain a bit about how I do this. So it could be a little tutorial, if you will. I get embroidery floss, usually from Michael's. I, you know, pull one out, like pull a thingy out, clip it. Then I take two threads. Put it through the needle. Okay, so it's about even. I need to pull up my pattern. So This is the pattern. When you get into it, looks like this. Hey Cam. Actually it's gonna be mainly about I went to the art museum. I'm not gonna disclose where. I went to the art museum last Thursday. I wanted to talk about it, you know, use it as a jumping off point for the topic because I do want some structure to these streams. Yeah. So this is gonna be the jumping off point while I cross stitch. And we're like about to get into that. I have to see where I'm. Right, okay, I'm remembering. I'm remembering where I am in the cross stitch. Okay. So I'm just gonna show what I'm doing. A little tutorial while I get ready. So I've set up my thread. I like to go into the upper corner of the fabric. It might be hard to see. Upper corner. Any update on the new position? Not yet. Not yet. From what I've heard, there's just been a lot of like a manager got fired, like an area, they call it area supervisor, got fired, another one quit. So the position that they asked me if I was interested in, they're asking the current holder of that position about if they want to fill that position for like area supervisor. And that has to be cleared first before I'm gonna hear anything. I don't know, something like that. So I'm like, okay, they're probably getting that straightened out and then will come talk to me again. So yeah, one of my area supervisors like actually talked to me the other day and was like, hey, I heard you're interested in this position, and like told me a little bit more about it. So yeah, I gotta play the waiting game. I'm sure it'll be fine. They really like me, so okay. So what I just did, like I started in the corner. It's hard to see. You do it like X's. So I put it next into the bottom corner. It's kind of hard to show. And then I keep my finger down on the end. And then I go to the next hole on the side. So it covers those thread ends, so they don't come undone. And then I'm gonna go to the upper corner to complete the X. So that's how you do it. It's kind of hard to show. Yeah, okay, things look good. Anyway, how's your week been? It's been over a week since I streamed, so I'm like, oh, it's been a while. Yeah, I had the museum day. I had a couple cat sits. This cat, I actually give insulin to. So I had that and a lot of working. It's like finally I have a day off. I have recorded face camless footage of Crisis Core. I actually played some last night. I cleared chapter 4. So that's true, it is nearly the weekend, so hopefully got some good stuff planned for the weekend. Okay, I think I'm gonna finish this row of the purple, I guess eggplant, and then I can start ranting. But yeah, my controller decided it wanted to stop working. Like it won't even turn on. So, I had an order a new controller and it's supposed to arrive today. I don't think it's going to because it's in the next city over. So like today I was like, okay, well, I can't play a game today because I don't have a controller anymore. So it's gonna have to be a rant stream. So. And shush, don't scratch your eyes. The soundtrack's so good. I guess I can show that. I am so excited. I am so excited for when I go to this concert. I think I missed a couple stitches. God damn it. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, 5. You have to do a lot of counting when you do this. Okay, I'll get into the meat and potatoes of this in a minute. So don't scratch. All right, almost done. Show. Okay. So that's what I got done so far. On good old Zagreus. Yeah. So this is the... Come on. This is the cross stitch pattern I'm doing. Okay. I guess to start... It might be fun to look up some gaming news. I'm gonna do that and then I can get into the main topic. Okay. See if there's anything interesting going on. I kind of have my issues with Gamer Rant though. Is this from Replicant? Uh-huh. I knew this was Replicant. You can usually tell. Okay. Oh yeah, I did hear that Subnautica 2 came out. Oh, there's been a ton of interviews about FF7R again recently. Oh, that's a good idea. We should look into that. That's a really good idea. eBay rejects GameStop's unsolicited $56 billion acquisition offer. Okay, I want to read that. I want to read that. IGN Live 2026. All the sneak peeks and celebs to expect with this fan first event. I'm curious about that. Okay. Oof. The board says its current management is well positioned to continue operating independently. eBay isn't merging with GameStop for now. Well, that's good. That's good. We need to... I like eBay. I use eBay. I don't like companies eating up other companies. Like, that's... like them trying to be in a monopoly. The e-commerce platform has rejected GameStop's unsolicited $56 billion takeover bid, calling it neither credible nor attractive. Oh, that's savage. eBay's board confirmed the decision in a letter to GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen on Tuesday. The board's primary concerns centered on how the deal would be financed, the operational risks involved post-acquisition, and the acquisition's impact on eBay's growth and valuation. eBay is a strong, resilient business that has delivered meaningful results over the past several years. It's also been around for decades, said board chair Paul S. Pressler. eBay's board is confident that the company, under its current management team, is well positioned to continue to drive sustainable growth, execute with discipline, and deliver long-term value for our shareholders. Earlier this month, Cohen's acquisition offer came as a shocker to many, given that his company generates only about 1/3 of eBay's revenue. He wanted to serve as the CEO of the combined company. Okay, so it's greed. It's greed. Yeah, they basically say you can't afford that. It's true. The combined company cut eBay's expenses and turned into an entity worth hundreds of billions of dollars. His plan was to pay for 50% of the acquisition in cash and the other 50% in GameStop common stock. Oh, of course. So imaginary money. Speculative money. Oh, that's a great idea. Okay, he claimed to have secured $20 billion in debt financing from TD Bank. Oh, so he's stupid. The possibility of the takeover can't be ruled out completely yet. As Reuters reports, Cohen has already discussed making a direct offer to shareholders, and he may do so following GameStop's rejection. Cohen has yet to respond to the letter. Okay, well, interesting. I will buy your channel for 5 million Monopoly monies. Okay, well, I don't know what this is. Oh, Assassin's Creed Black Flag resynced. Black Flag is decent. I've played a little bit. Okay, so... but, I mean, it's Ubislop. We don't like Ubislop. Alright, well, I don't know. We could look, okay, let's see how that... DLC? I don't know if... I don't know, like, how I feel about possibility of a DLC for the third game. Okay, well, let's see what this says. Final Fantasy VII Remake lead knows the series has more older fans, wants to expand it for new players. Naoki Hamaguchi, I love him. The director behind the ongoing Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy has spoken about what comes after his three-part meta saga concludes. He is both open to working on something entirely new and is pretty interested in finding a way to make Final Fantasy appeal to newer generations that are statistically less interested in the long-running series. Oh, this song's a classic. Asked about whether he wants to stick with Final Fantasy or do something totally unrelated in an interview with Nintendo's, Hamaguchi leaves the door wide open. As the trilogy nears completion, Hamaguchi hopes to meet fan expectations when it comes to those who want even more depth from the world and characters of Final Fantasy VII. He says in a machine-translated quotes. Oh, so there might be some inaccuracy if it's machine-translated. So I guess take it with a grain of salt. And as the series as a whole continues trending older, he knows Final Fantasy should probably think of ways to appeal to younger gamers. Hamaguchi says he's very aware that Square Enix needs to think about how to expand the potential of the Final Fantasy franchise for the next generation of fans. Final Fantasy XIV's Naoki Yoshida recently said the long gaps between Final Fantasy games has meant younger gamers aren't connecting with the series as much. Well, it's also the TikTokification of everything, of like having shorter attention spans, and also the overproduction and hyper consumerism that's going on, that there is less patience to wait for continuation of projects. And like we see the same thing with music too, you know, like I do music so I pay attention. That it's like if it's been like a couple years since you've put out something new, there's less of an attention span and less of a loyalty, and so it's quicker for people to forget unless they're really super dedicated fans. And it sucks. It sucks because good things take time to cook. You gotta let it cook. And I do say, like, I will say, they do need to figure out how to, I guess they need to prioritize new installments of the franchise instead of like looking back too much on older properties. Like, I think like most of the older properties just needs a good remaster. Like, just needs a good remaster, a modern port, and we'd be pretty happy. I don't think there needs to be a remake of every fucking Final Fantasy title. I think a lot of gamers are interested in Final Fantasy 17, but like, we're not hearing shit about that at all. And so it's like, when did 16 come out? That was... Let me take a look. Oh, the Nintendo Rose one is interesting. Some talks of Zack and fans theories. I'm interested in seeing that. 2023. Okay, so, when in 2023? Okay, June 22nd, 2023. So it's almost 3 years old. And we haven't heard anything about the next game. That seems like a long time. So I do think the development cycle does need to be quicker. But then that would hook in younger fans. I definitely think so. Because unfortunately the attention spans are pretty bad. Let's see. Yoshida recently said the long gaps between Final Fantasy games has meant younger gamers aren't connecting with the series as much. Market research paints a similar picture. 77% of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth players were over 30 years old, at least in the US. So when it came out, I was 29. FF15 was released in 2016. Yeah, see exactly. That's 7 years. That is 7 years between games. That's way too long. Way too long. I think like, I think 3 years between games is fine. That's fine. I think if you're doing it every year, that's too much. That means like you're cutting corners, you're probably using AI, you're not like quality checking, like QA testing takes a long time. I think, yeah, that is if we don't include the 7 remake games. That's true. That's true. I'm sure once the remake project is over, then we might see more projects coming out, because like, it's been like their A team, right? Their A team that's been like focused on these games. They've really prioritized it. So, I can attest to this. Oh, this is such a good song. I'm getting distracted. Yep, it's from Replicant. Okay, I can attest to this as someone who does a lot of projects. My album is taking a long time. Once I'm done with this album, I can go do other projects. And the same thing with my current research for my big video about Midgar and about Shinra. It's taking a very long time. And, you know, once I get that done, then I'm opening up for other videos. So there is a lot to be said about the 7R project. Is taking up a lot of the time and a lot of the resources. The A team is concentrated on this. That's why there are other teams at Square that handle other projects. But like, yeah, with like a mainline game, you do need to have the A team focus on it. So I definitely do agree that with the sentiment that once the 7R project is done, we might see more regular releases. Okay. It makes sense that Rebirth players were, like, most of them were over 30 years old, because I think a lot of us fans of the game were at least alive when the OG came out. Like, I was 2.5 when the OG came out. I have very, very early memories of watching my oldest brother play it. And then, you know, I didn't really engage much with it until I was like late teens, very early adulthood, when my other brother bought a PS1 and played the OG just to play the OG. Because I was not raised on PlayStation. I was raised on Nintendo 64 and GameCube. So that's why, like, you've been seeing me play, like, FF8 for the first time, FF9 for the first time, FF10, because I never got to play PlayStation growing up. Unless I was at a friend's house. But yeah, like a lot of us, like, 30-year-old, 7 players and, like, Final Fantasy players, were alive when the OG came out. And then, of course, like, the really, really dedicated OG purists are, like, most of them are in their 40s, because they were probably in their teens when they played the OG and have that nostalgia. So this does make sense. But I have noticed that there are a lot of, like, 20-year-olds that are playing these games, because they're fantastic. I think, like, if you have a very, very solid, fun game to play with compelling characters and a compelling story, then you can appeal to any demographic. Especially like with, like, you know, I'm gonna, you know, talk about this more today in the Rant stream. If you have themes that are very, very relevant to what's going on right now, and this game, like FF7, is more relevant than it even was in 1997 with everything that's been going on right now. So, okay, Hamaguchi is both keenly aware of Final Fantasy's aging fan base and is capable of making big, ambitious games that aren't trapped in the oven for as painfully long as mainline Final Fantasies usually are nowadays. Okay, so this is good that they're conscious of this. So I definitely welcome him in the director's chair for whatever's next. I do trust Hamaguchi. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. Most Final Fantasy games gain traction over time, as they've never been a 10 million sales day one franchise. Yes. Yes. I 100% agree. Like, these games are meant to be digested. Also, their decision to go multi-platform pretty early on now is a very good business decision because not everyone can afford a PlayStation right now, and they have a PC or they have a Switch, and it's good to have that option, that have that accessibility. Still, it's not a sure thing, as he says that if there's fan demand for new things that differ from Square Enix has done in the past, he's also eager to face those challenges. Regardless, though, he knows he can't do everything, but thinks it's likely going forward that the number of projects he'll oversee will go up. Okay, this makes me feel more confident. Okay, so I don't know if I trust this. Okay, so Hamaguchi's explained why Rebirth never got a DLC expansion like its predecessor, but says it's a possibility. Oh, it's just a possibility. Okay. Speaking to Endtower, Hamaguchi reveals that DLC for Rebirth was actually considered, explaining, when it came to to Rebirth, we seriously considered the possibility of developing a story DLC right up until immediately before the project officially moved into the planning phase. Shockingly, the decision not to move ahead with it wasn't anything to do with how overwhelmingly massive Rebirth already is, with Hamaguchi adding, within the context of a long-term trilogy, we concluded that running development of the second installment's DLC in parallel with the third installment would inevitably affect the third game's schedule and overall quality. That's what I figured. That it's like they felt like they needed to focus on nailing it with the third game. Because, like, out of all the games in the trilogy, the one they really needed to nail is the last one. So I am feeling pretty confident. I'm just like, okay, you know, the whole fandom is in chaos, going what's going on with the whole multiple realities shit, and with the ambiguity of Aerith's fate. You already know my opinion about that. AKA, she's dead. That's meant to happen, because we need to have that before we have the payoff. Like, we still have a part to go. So, like, yeah, out of any of the games, like, this is the one that needs to be nailed. So they really needed to focus on making that third part and releasing it in, like, good time. I am really hoping for a release next year to coincide with the 30-year anniversary of the OG. But we will see. We have not even gotten a title yet. I think we will soon, though. Intermission took them a year to make, so it wouldn't have been worth doing something like that for Rebirth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a year after. Right? Yeah, she's actually, you know, the game is gonna end with a Cloud in the Aerith reality where they fall in love, while in the current one he's in love with Tifa. Yeah, because they're gonna make every fucking person happy, even though that's literally impossible to do. But no, like, they said that there's gonna be a satisfying ending for everyone, and that means that Cloud's gonna be with Aerith in one of the timelines. Alright. Alright. I'm sassy. At that point, I believed my primary role was not to add DLC, but to deliver the third entry to fans as quickly as possible at the level of polish they would find satisfying. Yep. See, like, Hamaguchi really strikes me as just someone who really, really takes his work seriously, as he should. Like, I think if you're gonna be, you know, working on something that you are passionate about and you're proud of, you need to take it seriously. And that means that you need to have it be up to the quality that it needs to be. Yeah, I'm very much that kind of person. I'm a very, very, laser focused person when it comes to things that I'm working on. Yes, he's also a massive fan of FF7. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, multiple choice. You can pick who loves who. Yep, this is Persona. Oh, this song's so good. Okay. He concludes, for that reason, we decided to forego story DLC for Rebirth. However, despite skipping over it in the second entry, Hamaguchi hasn't ruled out the possibility for the third and final game in the series, which some obviously fake leaks will tell you is Final Fantasy VII Return. It's not. Yeah. Well, maybe. It could be Return. That is a possibility, but we don't know. Hamaguchi explains, as for DLC beyond the third installment, I believe that will ultimately depend on how strongly fans continue to support Final Fantasy VII as both a title and a franchise. If there is significant demand, we'd certainly be open to exploring those possibilities proactively. Okay, so this is just a... If fans want it, we'll do it, but if not, like, if it makes sense... Like, I honestly think that they should just wrap it up. I think that it should be done. But that's because I do fear that this like ends up like Marvel and Star Wars, where they just keep milking it till eternity and then it gets like watered down. You gotta let things end. It's important to let things end. If it makes sense to continue it, then yeah, I think they should continue it, but if it doesn't make sense. You're fine, Dream. We haven't gotten to the meat and potatoes of what the topic is today. We're just going over FF7 news. Also, hello. And then, yeah, I think like after I read this article, I'll talk about the museum and then get into the topic. You don't know what DLC would be good. If it's something Advent Children related, then maybe. I was thinking like something Vincent related, because the Vincent game we have, Dirge, is stinky poo-poo garbage. And I believe Vincent deserves better. So like I would be down for a Vincent DLC if there's a DLC. But I'm like leaning on like just let it end. Just let it end, like wrap it up in a pretty bow. Have it be satisfying. Oh, you did something last week. Played video games with your sister. I'll count that. Because you're, you know, like, I'm assuming you were in the same room and you were playing together. Or even, like, I've had, like, video calls with my little brother and I've played Mario Party with him. You were? Yeah, that's awesome. Dirge is 10 out of 10. Okay. So yeah, he's just saying like, we're open to it if you guys want it. Yeah. Granted, FF7 Remakes DLC also had 2 jobs. Not only was it the DLC expansion to the main story, but a reason for people to pick up the PS5 edition of the game. Yeah. Yeah. Which had only launched a year prior on PS4. Especially considering it was an exclusive to current gen versions of the game. Okay. Enough of that for now. Alright, I'm gonna start talking about the museum then. So let me just pull up. All right. So, first of all, like, as you guys probably know, because I'm sure I've talked about it, I have an art degree. I have an art education degree. So one of my favorite things to do, like when, you know, I have the time and the money, and thankfully there's a free museum day at the closest art museum to me. I'm not going to reveal where it is. Yeah, there's like a free day every month, so that was when I went. Um I love going to art museums, and I usually take a long time. So like there were 4 floors. I ended up taking like 2.5 hours on just the first 2 floors. So I had to speed run the upper 2 floors, and I got sad because I like to read every single placard, and I like to like read as much as I can. Um Usually when I'm in the photography section, I don't like look in too deeply into it, but this time I did. And like let me tell you, I cried several times while going through this museum for a lot of reasons that were completely unexpected. So, I'll show a couple pictures. So what I have like for the thumbnail is okay, I gotta move my light. That it was from like the Vietnam War. Um, you get overwhelmed, but if you can go at your own pace and it's not too busy, you really enjoy it. That's how you need to do it when you're at the museum. It did get really busy because there were a lot of people there. I also was like I had to take the bus there and I had a bus fare. Um, and I was starving, so I couldn't spend as much time as I could have. Otherwise, I would have spent like 4 hours. Um, yeah. Anyway, so there was, yeah, like Vietnam protests. And then this was completely unexpected. So, I know you guys are from the UK. I don't know how much you know about this. I was in Korea when this happened, but like, I heard about it because I'm from the US. So I'm gonna learn things about what's going on in the US. Um, so in 2020, during COVID, there was the whole the George Floyd tragedy, where a white police officer pushed his knee on the guy's head and neck and he suffocated to death. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people in the world know about this. And then there was also the murder of Breonna Taylor. And this spurred on these Black Lives Matter protests. Huge, huge deal. I ended up donating to BLM at the time. I did not expect to see this. Photographs from the BLM protests. So I just bawled. I just bawled. And then also, my best friend is half Indigenous. There was an entire exhibit on Indigenous art, and there were placards talking about how this museum is making efforts for Indigenous people to reclaim their art and their artifacts. And so I also cried over that. And I also cried over this museum sending this this like tapestry painting from Korea that needed to be restored. They sent it back to Korea for it to be restored, and then they had it come back to the museum, and it's a story from the Joseon period. And it made me cry. So, with the Black Lives Matter thing in particular, I cried because usually when you go to these art museums, you're seeing like pieces that you've like read about in like history textbooks and art history textbooks, like Van Gogh and Monet, Manet, Degas, Delacroix, Goya, like you're Klimt is a big one, and you have that separation because you're like, well, this is centuries old. To be able to see shit that has happened not only in my lifetime, but only 6 years ago, just made it feel so much more real. Like it hit me like a ton of bricks. And then also this idea that we talk about a lot here, and that is art is political. Yes, art can serve the purpose of entertainment, of course. Of course, it can serve the purpose of escapism. Like, there's a reason why I'm having a really big BL resurgence right now, and it's because I need that escapism, because the shit that I'm reading about in these books is putting me in a very difficult mental space because of the level of corruption and really evil shit that I'm reading about. I need to counterbalance that with some fluff. So yes, art can serve a purpose of escapism, but art is and forever will be political. So, you know, it's just like they're seeing side by side photographs from the Vietnam War protests and then the BLM protests just made it very, very much a like punch in the gut. Like, this is actually seriously important shit, and this is shit that needs to be talked about and needs to be explored through art. So yeah, whenever you go to museums in your country, you always have to take the caveat that this is technically stolen. Yes, and the people that this belongs to would really like that back. Absolutely. And so, you know, it was good. Like, I had huge respect for this museum, that they are doing whatever they need to do to help the indigenous community. And I shared some of this stuff with my best friend, and she was touched. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this, and like, this is my touch grass. This was it was a big touch grass, definitely. Because I love art. I love art so much. And that actually, like, looking at these photographs reinforced my desire to, like, I want to get an old film camera. I want to get an old film camera and learn how to use it. And then actually have, like, the negatives saved and then actually print them and hang them up. Because it's tangible. Because the photos you take with your phone is data. It's not physical. Unless you physically print it out, but it's still not the same. It's not the same because it's digitized. And I think it's important to have things that you can hold. Anyway. So I wanted to make this a jumping off point about my day at the museum to talk about the topic of people going like, I don't want politics in my games, when it's like, no, they're in there because art is political. I don't know how I'm gonna type this in as an internet search. Which, by the way, quick side note, I'm trying to be more ethical with my choices. I need to phase out Google off my phone because I don't like the AI overview that I'm just forced to have, and then there's no option to opt out unless I manually type in -AI into the Google search. So my roommate actually had me switch to Ecosha. And Ecosha, you can toggle the AI overview off. And it is more green. They plant trees. Anyway, that's a quick side note. So let's see. How am I gonna type this? Oh my god, okay. Okay, this is gonna be funny. I'm gonna be mostly clowning on people. Oh, conservative reviews. That's gonna be entertaining. Oh, I'm playing Nier music. I guess I haven't been doing much cross-stitching. Because I'm in the weeds now. Okay. Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna do the ones that I know. Snow Riders is not recommended. That's hilarious. You've seen this list before. It's actually insane what is classified as quote-unquote woke. So yeah, quick thing about the word woke. I remember, like, in 2010s, when I was in college, when that word went into the mainstream, which it is a, like, a black, like, it came from the African American community. Yeah. It was a compliment. I felt like it was a compliment. And now, like, they try to make it not a compliment, and I'm like, no, I still take it as a compliment. Because to me, that word means that I care about people. Anyway, I'm curious about this, because this is literally, like, a ski game. Okay, I've only heard of Metal Slug. I've never played it. Oh, this is Dragon's Quest? I mean, I have never played it, but I've heard of it, so we can look at it. Death Stranding. I obviously have heard of it. I have not played it, so, and I don't know much about it at all. Marvel Rivals? Okay, I'm curious about that, even though I've never played that either. I have played this one. I do really like this one, so we'll read that one. And I have played this one. A little bit. Life is Strange. Double Exposure. That's actually, like, one of my best friends' favorite. Why is there not a full review? Okay, here's your take before we get into it. Because all storytelling is based in some way on the human experience, politics in any form cannot be separated from it, even if you think there is nothing. There is. Exactly. Exactly. If we're talking about people and how they live and how they interact in society, how society treats them, it's going to be political. You cannot separate it. Now, if it's like beating you down and it's in your face, then yes, that's annoying. But if it's just like a black person is in the game or a queer person is in it, chill the fuck out. It's not gonna hurt you. It's not an agenda. Like, we cannot convert people into being gay. That's not how it works. Yeah, it's just people being insecure and they want to be mad about something because they're unhappy with their lives, so they're projecting. Then that might be like an overgeneralization, but it's... Anyway. Dude, this guy really must have a lot of time on his hands. You can't convert people, I've been warned this whole time about nothing. I just remember my cousin, this was a long time ago, my cousin decided to move to China. My mom was terrified about him moving to China because she had in her head, because of the one child policy, that there's a lot of gay people there. because like there's not a lot of female births that they end up fucking each other, like the dudes end up fucking each other. I don't know where my mom got that from. Anyway, she was so worried that the gay people in China would recruit my cousin to be gay. And I was like, Mom, that's not how that works. The actual thing people are complaining about is more due to not agreeing with what the story presents them. Yeah, I do agree with that. Okay, Until Dawn. I've watched playthroughs of that. When it comes to like cannibalism, I cannot do it. Cannibalism and Wendigos, I cannot do it. But I know what the game's about. Grand Theft Auto. That's hilarious. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. I want to see if it gets into Final Fantasy. Because I think we should prioritize that. Oh, Ghost of Sashimi! I call it Ghost of Sashimi. Spyro? I love Spyro. Okay, we gotta do that one. This is gonna be entertaining. This is gonna be really entertaining for me. Harry Potter Quidditch is not recommended. It's just silly. And like, you really must have a very boring existence if you're taking issue with Harry Potter Quidditch. I mean, like, take issue with Harry Potter for, you know, the author being a TERF. Like, if you're gonna take issue with Harry Potter, take issue with that. Like, that's why I don't like Harry Potter anymore. That's to end it. Now that we have set the table, you and me can discuss what people think isn't political and ignore, but actually is as well, and the thing that they're complaining about. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna talk about that. Definitely. Okay, I wonder if there is a search, because this is a lot of games. Okay, I guess RPG would be good. Okay. Final Fantasy XIV Online is informational. That's hilarious. Elden Ring is not recommended. Of course Baldur's Gate is not recommended. Stardew Valley is informational. Final Fantasy woke bullshit by provides results. Control F, then type Final Fantasy. Oh, okay. Did that not work? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, Fallout. It's just funny. Oh, Hades 2. I just haven't played Hades 2 yet. Oh, I might have to scroll to load the results. Okay, well, that's okay. Dark Souls. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. I mean, I am cross-stitching Zagreus. Oh, King's here! What's wild is FF13 is considered not woke by these losers. And you're like, what game do they play? Yeah, literally there's lesbians. That's hilarious. Okay, Sims. Sims is informational. The Greek myth inspired video game is political? No way. Yeah, and also those Greek gods, a lot of them fucked men and women. Undertale. I was waiting for this. Uh-huh. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yep, we gotta do that one. Pardon? No, it's because you like to go into 2B and you're, cherry picking. You don't want Nier Automata to be woke because you want to goon. You want to goon to 2B. There's gays in the Greek myth game? Oh my god, clutches pearls, exactly. Okay. Yeah, this is hilarious. Final Fantasy VI is recommended, contains no woke— oh fuck. No woke content. Even though they're fighting an empire that's committing, like, genocide? Alright. Final Fantasy 15. See, I've not played it yet, so I can't really comment on that one. Okay. This will be good. Chrono Trigger! We gotta talk about— Chrono Trigger. There it is. Okay. Again, it has been so long since I played this game that I can't say too much. But we can include it. Okay, we might be good with this list. Yeah. Okay, there's a lot to go through. Ooh. Okay, Marvel's Spider-Man 2. Oh, yeah, Fang and Vanille love story so well written, so subsexual too. Subtextual. Many people let themselves believe they are just friends. Yep. Okay, so King is currently playing this, so you can tell us. Okay, gay homecoming dance mission. You play as Miles' deaf girlfriend. That makes no sense to me why they're pearl clutching at that. Like, have you never interacted with the deaf person? Like, that person did not decide to be deaf. It just happened. It just happened. You're not okay with playing as a deaf person? Yeah, it's like I'm sure it's true. I want to go to a gay homecoming dance. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I would love that. You know, I'm like, gayness is fun. You're just jealous. You're just jealous because we have fun. Anyway, like, it's like I've had deaf people, like, the other day, like, come through my line when I'm cashiering. I feel so terrible that I can't communicate with them. And I go, oh yeah, I want to learn sign language. That is something that I want to do. Because it's just, like, it's challenging. It's challenging. Like, you can't fucking hear. You can't hear shit. You know, it's like you can't, like, hear if a car is coming. You can't hear the ambulance sirens. You can't hear if there's a fire alarm going off. Like, you know, it's scary. You know, and like, you're mad about playing a deaf person in a game? And that's woke. God, just privilege. It's just privilege. Yeah, a lot of this stuff can be labeled under I'm unhappy. You've reminded me that these people exist. The quest with Haley was super cute too because they muffled the sound in the game and she pets a kitty. That's so cute. I love that. That's like actually like really cool. That's really cool and artsy. I love that. Like, that's like attention to detail. Peter is anti-gun. Oh, so you're mad that he doesn't like that people use the thing that kills people really quickly. That you can use to mass kill people. That's like, kids are no longer safe in the places where they learn that now a lot of parents are opting to homeschool in the States because they don't want their kids to die while they're learning. It's like, fuck off. Multiple LGBTQ flags. They're just flags, dude. They're just flags. You can chill out. It's not like in the game they're waving the flag in your face and having you do a mini game where you color the flag or whatever. Like, Spider-Man's not wearing flags he's not wearing a flag suit, a pride flag suit. You can calm down. You can calm down. There's probably American flags in there too, and that's what you love, you crazy people. You're kissing Peter Parker on the mouth, actually. OBS censored that. There's a section with Planned Parenthood booth for teenagers. So, making sure that teenagers are having safe sex. And that, you know, they have options in case they have an unwanted pregnancy because condoms and birth control are not 100% effective. Look up how Uncle Ben dies. I'll look that up later. Also, OBS censored you because you put the asterisk in my name. OBS hates your love for Spidey. OBS is the person who wrote this woke detector list. Anyway, Haley does BIPOC graffiti. Again, representation. Also, wouldn't this person take issue with playing Spider-Man 2 because one of the Spider-Men is black? It's hilarious. The things that people clutch their pearls over. It looks fun. I want to play it. It's been on my list for years. Okay. That one's done. Okay, you see, I was just curious because I'm like, this is literally a skiing game. Game is woke. They added a body slider instead of male and female. Okay. You literally can just make a male or female character. You don't have to use the body slider. Calm down. They added type X voices instead of male and female voices. Again, it's not a big deal. Calm down. You've loved Spidey since you were a kid and you'll never stop. I have loved Spider-Man since the Andrew Garfield movies. And yeah, he is my favorite superhero. Well, him and Silk. Who, her name is Cindy Moon. She was bit by the same spider that bit Peter. But she attracted the attention of this villain, so she was locked in a bunker for 10 years. And she's also Asian. Okay, that's hilarious. Dragon's Quest 3 HD 2D remake, appearance AB instead of gender. Character designs were censored. Again, chill out. A lot of this is just like, you're so sensitive, and you call You call like liberal people, which I consider myself more of a democratic socialist, which is different from liberal. You call us snowflakes. You're getting mad about in your skiing game, there is a body slider instead of male or female, and there's voices X instead of male and female. You're getting mad about that in your game. You're getting mad about playing as a deaf girl for one scene. I'm like, you're... Anyway, it's just funny to me. Marvel's chat censoring. They don't let you say what you want in Marvel Rivals. If this subject doesn't qualify here, let me know. Wasn't sure. So if you're doing hate speech to people, they're gonna censor you? Oh no. There's a reason why there's moderation. Like there's like moderators in chat. Because hate speech is not like it. I think hate speech violates freedom of speech. Oh. Also Venom would smash. Yeah. Yeah. Box number 2. I hate that people are given choices I disagree with and feel that they should not have choices I personally wouldn't like. Exactly. A lot of this is like you literally could just choose not to do that. Like if there's like, let's say like you're, you know, creating a character for Stardew or whatever. And like there's an option to make your character transgender or non-binary. You literally could just opt not to choose the trans or the non-binary character. You could just go with like male or female. It's not a big deal. They're not shoving it in your face by giving you the option. Shoving it in your face would be like, you have to play this trans character. But like even then, and like you can just choose not to play this game and chill out. Oh yeah, you missed me talking about that. So I guess I'll share this again, the picture. So I cried several times because I spent a long time with the photography, and I usually don't do that. But it just hit me like a ton of bricks, because you know, usually when you go to an art museum, you're seeing shit like Van Gogh, Monet, Degas, Klimt, Jackson Pollock. You know, you're seeing a lot of shit that's like been centuries old. So like seeing shit that happened in not only in my lifetime, but like in the past 6 years, just it really hit me like a ton of bricks. Right to the face. And is this idea that art is inherently political. So I was in the photography exhibit, and I first saw like, and then this was the thumbnail today. Gotta move my light again. Of this Vietnam photograph of protests. And then I walked further and I saw photography of the BLM protests in 2020. And I was in Korea at the time, but of course I heard all about it because I'm from the US. And so I started crying. Because it just hit me. Just how real and important this shit is. And then also my best friend is half indigenous, and this museum is making efforts to have the like indigenous artwork and artifacts belong right back to the indigenous community. And then there in another exhibit about Korea, there was this wall scroll tapestry thing of a story from the Joseon period in Korea that they sent back to Seoul to restore it, to clean it up and restore it, and they brought it back to the museum, and I bawled my eyes out. But yeah, it's just this whole idea that art is inherently political. And that's the jumping off point for today. The new Tamagotchi Life game on Switch 2 not only allows you to have the pronouns they, them, it also allows you to state your me finds both or any the words they use gender is attractive. Both things are choices. Exactly. It's all just choices. It was an incredible exhibit. Really incredible. Okay. Assassin's Creed diversity disclaimers screens. All Assassin's Creed games have a featured diversity disclaimer as one of the opening screens. Again, it's just acknowledging that they have diverse devs. Why are you taking issue that non-white people are making games? You really just want to be the center of attention all the time. Because you're the upper caste and you don't like other people having attention. It's really pathetic. Okay, this is a bop. That's a bop. Okay. Black Flag is unfortunately woke. One of the characters, James Kidd, is a woman. In the 1600s, we're doing that kind of shit would get you killed. Okay. Okay. Because I love pirates, and I'm interested in pirates. Let me direct you to Anne Bonny. Was a pirate who served under John Rackham. Amongst the few recorded female pirates in the golden age of piracy, she has become one of the most recognized pirates of the era, as well as the history of piracy in general. I believe she dressed up as a man to join the pirates. Okay. Let's... Another thing I love in Spidey 2 is there's a Miles quest where he recovers stolen items from famous jazz musicians. Oh, that's my shit right there. You get to learn about stuff about them like Charlie Parker. Charlie Parker's amazing. Okay, I just based off that alone, I'm very interested in playing. Okay, I know I'm getting in the weeds. Anyway, you get the point. I don't need to go into detail about this. There were plenty of female pirates back in those days who dressed as men so that they could be pirates, because there was the whole superstition about female pirates or whatever, but literally it's because they were gay and wanted to fuck each other. So it's just, again, just them not knowing history. Also, like, Anne Bonny, I guess, was openly a female pirate eventually and had a relationship with the captain. So... okay, anyway, enough of that. Before we talk about Until Dawn, I'm gonna go pee real quick. Oh, I've already ranted for about an hour and a half. Typical. Okay. Box number 3, I would like my games to share my worldview and beliefs about history, and I don't want to be corrected on anything I would find uncomfortable to accept or feel would necessitate me. Also, a lot of these people are brainwashed by what's taught in American schools, and what's taught in American schools is like, you know what they say, history is written by the victors. I've already talked about what the shit I'm learning in these Epstein books is that my education system lied to me. And I do not like liars. I do not like it when people lie to me. So it's all lies. Yeah. Yeah, they don't want to be told to change their behavior. Yep. Okay, game prominently features an interracial couple, Asian and Black, as 2 of the 8 primary protagonists. I'm like, oh, so you're into eugenics, is what you're telling me. You're telling me you're a Nazi. That's what I think when I hear that. Emily and Matt should probably be informational at least. Anyone else who played it might remember more info, but it's been a while since I played it. Only just realized it was on Steam now too, so I figured I would mention it. God, just this like have an issue with an interracial couple. I'm like, it's literally just 2 people being in love with each other. But also, I think, you know, I think you all know by now that I'm really into Asians. So, like, the likelihood of me ending up with a white person is slim to none. If I'm gonna end up with a white person, it's probably gonna be a woman, not a man. Just saying. Anyway, not important. Just a second, I got to respond to a work text. Yeah, I could come in. Okay, I just picked up a shift for tomorrow morning. Okay. We talked about that, so we can move on. I don't know why that's there. Okay, contains subtly pro LGBTQ plus messaging. For intergrade? Did you miss the whole section of Oh, okay. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, contains subtly pro-climate action messaging. Subtly? Subtly? I think they didn't make it blatant because they want to get into Tifa. That's what that's telling me. They want an excuse to go into Tifa, so they're saying subtly so that they feel less bad about going into Tifa. Even though Barrett told Cloud, he told Cloud that this dude tried to give her flowers and try to hit on her and she refused him. And then I believe in Dear Destiny as well. Someone like tried to get with her and hit on her and she said no. So I'm like, do you honestly think that Tifa would ever want you if she was real? Like, think about it, Gooners. Anyway, but yeah, subtly, that is the whole external conflict. That is the external conflict. Is the reason why Avalanche was there in the first place. The first mission, you were bombing the reactor. The first hour of the fucking game is all about that. Bombing the reactor. You think Chief would want you, don't you, Kriya? I love your troll comments. One of the things you have come to terms with is, as a straight white man, is how many things are still so much more in your favor even if you are disabled. Yeah, see, that's like the nuance of it. So I am obviously white. Do I experience bullshit being a woman? Yes. Is that still different from the bullshit that a black woman experiences? Also yes. Same thing with being queer. You're gonna deal with bullshit for being because you're queer. And it would be different. If I was a straight white woman, then that would be different, but I'm queer. But again, I'm very much straight passing because I'm very feminine looking. I have long brown hair and I, you know, like feminine things. I'm very straight passing. Am I straight? No. So again, you know, there's nuance to it. So when you're in like in a position where, like, you know, you're still experience privilege because you're white, you need to be the bridge. These are conversations I have a lot with my roommate because she's also white, but she's also a queer white woman, and she thinks about this shit too. Like, you know, like you have autism. You probably have experienced a lot of bullshit because of that. So we need to be a bridge. We need to be a bridge for, you know, to help people up the ladder instead of kicking down the ladder. So, you know, that's why, you know, I'm as loud and vocal as I am, because I want to be the bridge. And I want to, like, reach out my hand and help people up. Because that's what you need to do as a white person. Also, Jesse's dilemma about making the bombs and being explicitly from the upper cities political. Yes. And oh, just wait until I make that video. I know I'm going to be dropping a bomb once I put out that video. I know that people are either going to love it or they're going to hate it. And you know what? It doesn't matter because it needs to be put out. It needs to be said. Also, being autistic the way that you're also able passing. Yeah. See, there's nuance to it, and that's why you need to be a bridge. Anyway, forced cross-dressing and dancing with a suggestively suggestive minor? What? Who is the minor that you were suggestively sexually dancing with? Were they trying to say manner? Okay, that's confusing. Also, that's inaccurate. It was not cross-dressing, it's drag. People need to know the difference. Oh, you're high functioning? Oh, gotcha. Okay. The difference between drag and cross-dressing is cross-dressing is when it's sexual. If you're cross-dressing for a kink. Which is a kink I have, to be honest. It's drag if you're just, you know, dressing as the opposite gender. Or even then. You can be a woman and do female drag. You can be a man and do male drag. So there is a difference. Cross-dressing is when it's specifically in sex. If it's not, it's drag. So this is already false. It's not cross-dressing, it's drag. And also it's necessary so that he can get to the Corneo's mansion to rescue Tifa. Yeah, but this is intergrade. This is intergrade. Cloud doesn't dance with Yuffie in intergrade. Cloud doesn't dance with Yuffie, and it doesn't even meet Yuffie in this. So I think they were trying to say manor, not minor, but I'm confused about that. Forced eco-terrorists. Anyway, enough about that. Hades. Contains overtly pro-LGBTQ plus messaging. I mean, yes, if you're having homosexual relationship between minor characters. Optional homosexual romance. Again, it is optional. You can fuck Megara. Just fuck Megara. And just let those of us who love Thani go fuck Thani, and those who like both, fuck both, and have a throuple. The NPC Chaos is non-binary. Because Chaos is an entity? Is like personification of a concept? I don't think concepts have gender. Unless you're a Spanish speaker. And that's just because it's just how the language functions. The NPC Dusa says she's asexual. Again, asexual people exist. Well, I mean, I'm only demi. I'm not fully ace, but I'm on the ace spectrum. Ace people exist. We're literally not doing anything to you. We're literally just here existing, not having sex. We're not bothering you. Also, she's not forcing anyone to be ace. You can't force someone to be ace. That's literally physically impossible. Oh, 8 canish. We're talking. It's a rant stream talking about how art is political, and we're going through woke game content, and just clowning on it. Zeus literally has a boyfriend too. Yes, they're Greek. They're Greek. The Greek gods fucked anything and everything that moved. But also welcome. Welcome. I hope you enjoy the stream. Yes. Okay, Undertale. Contains overtly pro-LGBTQ plus messaging. Multiple non-binary characters that use they/them pronouns, including the player character. Again, you just don't have to play it. Two major characters can form a homosexual relationship. Oh yeah! Undyne and the dinosaur looking one. I forgot her name. Oh, it makes me so happy though. But again, if you go the genocide route, that never happens. You can literally, you literally can play it in a way that doesn't have that happen. So anyway, but it's also like, I'm like, people like this that are like this, I'm like, I'm glad that you don't want to play my favorite games. Like, obviously these games are not for you. Alright, I'm getting thirsty. I need to get some more water. I enjoy hearing me rant while making a cross stitch, even though I haven't touched the cross stitch in a minute. Which is of a, you know, a character that likes men and women. and is also Greek. Just to piss these people off. Oh, sending screenshots of the Spidey 2 quest. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna have to pull up my Discord then. Okay. Okay, this one's gonna be fun because as Cassandra, you can fuck women. Oh, the song. I might sing. Oh, this song is so important to me. Away, still feel the chance to breathe. Real things what its way remains. I away to me. Are you punishing me? This the price I paid for my past mistake. I unplugged the wrong after I deleted shit. I somehow that I could save every one of us. The truth is that I'm only one girl. You got it out, even if the words seem meaningless. Carrying the weight of the world. Just checking my work. There's a way somehow that I could save every one of us. The truth is that I'm only one girl. If I keep believing my dreams will come to life. Come to life. Okay, I had to sing that song. Okay. Oh, cute! Cute! Are there little plushies? Yeah, Venom is hot. Okay. Alright, back to what we were doing. Okay, looks fine. I'm just like making sure I have enough space with my recording. Okay. This is an action-adventure game in which players assume the role of Alexios or Cassandra, mercenaries on a quest for vengeance. As players explore an open-world environment in ancient Greece, they interact with characters, infiltrate enemy bases. Okay. It's just saying what the game's about. Okay, well, it's probably because Cassandra can fuck women. You set out to be the biggest slut in Greece and succeeded? Hell yeah. Shushu made a beautiful speech about how music explicitly needs to be political in order to move us. That was good, Shushu. That was a good point. You want to say hi? Do I say hi? No. Let me say hi. Just can't have you on my lap. You've got a little... You say hi? You say hi? Hey boy, what a sweet boy. You're a sweet baby boy. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good baby boy. Oh, that's so sweet. What a sweet baby boy. That's sweet of you to lick mommy. Yeah. Okay. You're a sweet boy. Okay. Just go back down. Okay. This is really hilarious to me that it contains no woke content. The game about humanity? Which, by the way, 9S is pretty twinky. Pretty twinky. He's also very emotional. And 2B is very stoic. Like, that alone, I'm like... But it's like a game about humanity, and like machines and androids are trying to replicate humanity, but they're failing. Also based off of philosophers, including Marx, I'm pretty sure. Okay, let's get into it. Okay. Here we go. Karl Marx. Oh, this is the perfect song to have on for this. This is my favorite track in the Nier soundtrack. I want to hear this live so bad. Okay. Karl Marx was a German philosopher, social and political theorist, economist, journalist, and revolutionary socialist. He co-authored the Communist Manifesto. Box number 69 will ignore any political at all if it means I can goon. Exactly. It's because they can goon a 2B and they want to be able to goon to her. They don't want this game to be woke so that they can goon to her freely. So that they can blow up her outfit so they can see her in her leotard and see her ass cheeks. Okay. Friedrich Engels. Sometime I am going to make a video about the philosophers in Nier, and I'm gonna actually read the works from these philosophers to do that, so. But there you go. That's all you need to know. This game could not be more woke if it kicked you in the head. You align with box number 69, hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pause this song for a second because it's too epic. Let me state this opinion. It's absolutely okay to be attracted to a video game character. I'm attracted to both male and female video game characters. You guys know this. It's okay. It's okay to want to quote-unquote goon to a character. As long as that's not the only reason you're into playing these games. I'm also in it for the substance. I'm in it for the characters. I'm in it for the story. I'm in it for the themes. I'm in it for the messaging. I'm in it for the art. You know, not just because a character is nice to look at. You know, it's okay to be attracted to the characters. It's okay. I think, you know, people that get too sensitive about that, I'm like, calm down. But then the people that get, like, you know, pitchforks, firing pitchforks, if there's an ugly character when it's literally a character that just looks like a normal person, then that's, I'm just like, calm down in the other direction. Like, a game doesn't have, like, if a game has normal characters, does not mean it loses its value. So here, that's like, you know, quick opinion, like nuanced opinion. It's okay to be attracted to game characters. It's okay, as long as you're not being a misogynistic piece of shit, and that's as long as you're not like, oh, I'm gonna ignore everything else about this game because 2B's hot and I want to goon to her. So even though there's literally references to Karl Marx, who made the Communist Manifesto, which is the big bad thing that you guys don't like. I'm talking about you guys don't like the anti-woke people. Really hate communism. So I'm like, okay, well, no woke content because 2B is hot, yet communist ideas are in the game. The complaints about the new Fable game, yep. My roommate talked to me about this yesterday. Having ugly characters is insane, and not a single person complaining had played the previous Fables. And wasn't it also making fun of that? Space take you out of your thought I was gonna make a video essay on the philosophy of ignoring a political agenda so you can care. Anyway, so that's all you need to know. This game is woke as fuck. So that's hilarious. Okay, again, no woke content. about this game. In the previous Fables, you were a super buff woman. Hell yeah. Alright. Let's see the plot. Okay, it's set in a world with a deliberately more industrial and mechanical design elements. It's a setting where machinery and magic coexist. Opera and the fine arts serve as recurrent motifs. Oh, the opera sequence is the best. During the first half of the game, the planet is referred to as the World of Balance and is divided into 3 lush continents. Okay. The southern continent has been mostly subjugated by the cruel Gestalt Empire. Okay. The game alludes to a conflict known as the War of the Magi, which occurred 1,000 years prior to the beginning of the game. This conflict, 3 quarreling entities known as the Warring Triad used innocent humans as soldiers by transforming them into enslaved magical beings called Espers. Again, that's pretty woke and political. They're fighting against people that are subjugating and enslaving people. Enslaving an entire race of people that used magic because they were jealous that they were magic users and they wanted to use that power to continue their regime. I would say that it's pretty woke that this group of people is resisting and fighting against that and doing a resistance. I think that's pretty woke. The Triad realized their wrongdoings. They freed the Espers and sealed their own powers inside 3 stone statues. As a precaution, the Espers sealed off both the statues and themselves from the realm of humans. The concept of magic gradually faded to myth as mankind built a society extolling science and technology. Which is also pretty woke. That's pretty woke too. At the time's opening, the Empire has taken advantage of the weakening barrier between the human and Esper domains, capturing several Espers in the process. Using these Espers as a power source, the Empire has created Magitech, a craft that combines magic with machinery and infuses humans with magical powers. The Empire is opposed by the Returners, a rebel organization seeking to free the subjugated lands. That's pretty woke. Yep. Slaves and mass genocide. Yes. Yes, and them resisting the Empire. And it's like, guess what's happening right now? A genocide in Gaza and, you know, Free Palestine movement, we're trying to stop that from happening, and we're trying to, like, hold people accountable, the Zionists accountable, and we are the woke people. Because we don't want innocent people to die. We do not want a genocide. So this game, I would say, is pretty woke. So that's hilarious that it's labeled as no woke content. I'm like, okay, it's because it's 2D graphics and you're, you know, not really paying attention. Just imagine another troublemaker jumping on the stream trying to get you to admit you goon to 2B and we all scream in unison, she don't goon. It's complicated. Yeah. So that's hilarious. Oh my god, I am not a minor. I guess I don't care, you guys know my age. Oh, then it didn't show. Okay, well. Dude, I am grown. I'm a grown-ass woman. Huh? Grandma Snow over here. It's so weird to hear that, because I think of my actual Grandma Snow, who passed away how long ago? It was 19. I'm 31. 12 years ago? Yeah, 12 years ago. It's so weird to hear myself being referred to as Grandma Snow. Alright, I believe it was informational. There it is. Contains subtly pro-LGBTQ plus messaging. Yes! Right. Okay. You guys, once I play Chrono Trigger, which I can't wait to play, technically your great-grandpa Dream. Oh, okay. The minor NPC Flea, actually technically a boss, is a male drag. Does female drag. We're correcting. That uses feminine pronouns in Japanese. I love Flea. I love Flea. I'm like, this game was made in 1995. Ahead of its time. Flea's an icon. Yes, this character comments on the male versus female distinction not mattering. Just icon, 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 icon. Yeah, it really must be exhausting to be these kind of people. They're just not fun. They're not fun. You're the cool king. King, once we get to Flea, you will lose your shit. Oh, it's so good. Anyway. I would say it is definitely woke, not informational. Because the whole conflict is all these different... By the way, one of the characters that you play as comes from the prehistoric age. She is the chief. She is this badass chief of the village. Badass fighter. Super strong. And the guy that's in love with her, Kino, is an absolute simp for her. And also, like, a stupid weakling. So, that's pretty woke right there. But, like, the whole conflict is you're trying to stop this alien entity called Lavos that's buried itself into the planet and destroys the world in the year 1999. And so you're joining together with people all across time and different eras, like including a frog and a robot character, and a princess and an inventor. Like half the cast is female. And you're going around and you're trying to save the world, basically. So, Magus is also the king of twinks. I love Magus. Oh, he's the best. You're gonna love it, King. You're gonna love it. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. To me, this is the perfect game. Chrono Trigger is the perfect game. And I mean, you know, everyone's allowed their opinion, but to me, this is the perfect game. I can't wait to play it. It's so good. Okay. Again, I am grown. I am grown. I'm just gonna put a random year. Okay, well, we can talk about 13. It said it was not woke. Lesbians. Lesbians and also trying to prevent a genocide. Okay. Contains... Okay, let's see the full review. Fuck, I don't want to look at this. Okay. Alright, well, FF4. Again, very similar. They're trying to prevent a genocide in this empire. Subtly pro-LGBTQ+ and subtly pro-DEI messaging. Anyway, We don't need to talk more about that. This is kind of funny. For some people, the battle against the so-called woke mind virus, it's a virus, guys. I'm infected with a virus that makes me care about people. That makes me care about people of color, disabled people, people from other countries, trans people, gay people. It makes me care about everyone. It's a virus. It's a virus to want equality for everyone. It's a virus to, yeah, want to treat everyone like a human being. It's a virus, guys. I'm infected with a virus that makes me a good person. Oh, you're putting on a mask? You don't want to catch that? You don't want to catch the woke mind virus that makes you care about people. They can't help but see woke content everywhere, whether it's TV shows, movies, or video games. Earlier this year, to help fight the never-ending battle against wokeness, a group of gamers banded together to create the Woke Content Detector Steam group to call out games that they see as containing overly woke content. So how's the battle going? Here's what we know. It's just hilarious that they called the game that literally references Karl Marx as not woke. And they just consciously sat down together and went through like thousands of games to see if they're woke or not. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. You really have no life. Like, it's like, this like might like be like mean-spirited, but I'm like, dude, go read a book, go take a walk, go touch grass, learn some hobbies, go hang out with people. If you're consciously having to sit down and go through thousands of games just to project your misery, you have too much time on your hands. Some gold woke content detectors Steam creator list. Heavy social commentary regarding communism, whether pro or anti, is unclear. About Disco Elysium, yet the game that is not woke directly references Karl Marx. It is a very sad life. I'm just like, dude, you could literally do anything else. I don't know, learn tennis. Just something random. Learn how to cook. That would be a good idea, actually. Learn how to cook. That way you're not... Well, it's because these people, they want a maid. They want to marry a sex slave who will cook and clean for them and treat them like a baby. Just be their mom. Just be their sex slave that they can fuck whenever they want. So I'm like, okay, you know, maybe instead of making this woke content detector list that's very cherry-picked to conveniently ignore things so you can go into to be Antifa, how about you learn how to cook? You learn how to cook so you don't have to be treated like a baby. These dudes should step out of the basement once in a while, maybe shower. Yes, and clean their asshole. So there's not skid marks on their underwear. Because they think it's gay to clean their ass. Go clean your ass. Watching paint dry would have been a better achievement. Yes. Favorite FF game features a canonically non-binary character and a woman who's a general. Hell yeah. Exactly. Also trying to prevent the biggest genocide all fucking life. Yes. Yes. That is FF9. We didn't talk about 9 because it wouldn't let me look at the page. Goddamn. In March 2024, the Woke Content Detector Curator and Community Group were founded on Steam. The group, which boasts over 3,000 members as of September 2024, Oh, so there's 3,000 of these losers. Also, Kuja exists. Exactly. Slay. Actually, like, yes, Queen Slay. Collects and reviews games based on how woke they are. If a game has woke themes or messaging, they slap it with a not recommended review, while games without wokeness get a recommended label. That apparently references Karl Marx, but not 2B. We want to go into 2B, so we want to do that and ignore everything else. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna stop with that. I just think it's hilarious. The definition of wokeness is pretty flexible, and the people over the woke content detector have made sure to cover all their bases. Well, apparently they did not cover them widely enough. With a wide list of definitions for woke, including pro-LGBTQ+ messaging, pro-DEI messaging, pro-climate action messaging, even though it's only subtle in FF7. Pro-communism, socialism messaging. Oh, unless we want to go into 2B. Pro-abortion messaging. Oh, because there is a Planned Parenthood booth for teenagers in Spider-Man 2. Okay, and much more. So far, the list has curated over 1,400 games, all of which are available not only on Steam, but in an extensive Google Doc. They made a Google Doc? How is social media? Oh, here we go. Reacting to the woke content detector. As often is the case with anything discussing wokeness, the people of social media have a lot of opinions on it. Most people seem critical of the list, resulting in a lot of posts and memes where people call out the reasonings behind certain games being added to the list. For example, Disco Elysium's addition to the list for featuring discussions of communism, despite the group being unable to figure out whether they were for or against communism. Meaning they don't know how to critically think. There's no, what's the term I'm looking for? Media literacy. It's clear they don't have, like, media literacy skills. Another example comes from Henry Hoffman, developer of the game Paper Trails, which was added to the list for featuring a woman who goes to university. Oh no, a woman's going to college! Clutch your pearls! Some people are flipping the list on its head and posting memes about using the not recommended section of the list to find games to play. Love that. I love that. Rather than games to avoid. Others are sharing seemingly ironic memes about how devastated they are to find their favorite games on the list. Overall, the list isn't being taken that seriously by most people, which is funny because they probably did take it very seriously because they're losers. Ranting is political. Yep, I'm very political. I don't care. Call me woke all you want. I am. I'm proudly. However, it does offer a fun scroll through for those looking to see their favorite game has been deemed woke or not by the anonymous members of the woke content detector group. Me going to the woke content detector and adding every game label that's not recommended to my Steam wishlist. I love you guys too. Alright, this has been hilarious. Okay. Well, I guess I can cross-stitch now while we talk. Since I haven't done much of that this stream, and that was supposed to be part of the appeal. So again, I'm cross-stitching Zagreus. I guess I can go full screen for this. And we can go a little longer. Hopefully my controller comes. I am thinking, like, since I am picking up a shift for tomorrow morning, I might just move the next stream to Sunday, I want to say. Yeah, I'll just move it to Sunday. Because I don't want to be super tired tomorrow, and I don't know when my controller is coming. So I might move it to Sunday. You're having the best time? Oh, I'm glad. Yeah. It's like, I'm just gonna cross stitch a character from a game that is deemed not recommended by the anti-woke people because gay people exist. Greek gay people exist. I hope my controller comes soon so I can play Hades again. I'm getting very close to bringing um Patty and Achilles back together. So it's not just Zagreus who's into men. I'm so happy we got to go through this list. I've been wanting to do that for a while. Finished this thread, we could start on the next one. I don't know how often I'm gonna be doing these kind of streams. I guess it's just gonna be like whenever I'm in the mood, or something like this happens where my controller breaks and I can't stream a game. Shit, I hate it when it gets tangled like this. Okay, so again, like I talked about this a little bit at the start while I was waiting for people to come in. How you do this is you get like the DMC threads. I get them from Michaels. Um, I don't know if there's a Michaels in the UK, but yeah, you like find the embroidery floss at like a craft store near you. It's probably gonna have DMC threads. Um, and I cut off a piece and then I grabbed two threads from the thing. And then I like thread my needle. God, this soundtrack's good. And I make it about even. Let's see where I'm at. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, like they are, I don't know how well you can see them. Like they are squares like that, so that's like why it's called cross stitch. I like to start in the top left corner and I like tug on the threads until like there's a little bit of a tail. I keep my finger there and then I go to the bottom right corner so that it makes the first half of an X. Go all the way through, and then I go to the bottom left corner through the back, so then the ends are secured. And then complete the X by going to the top right corner. Go all the way through. There you go. Yes. Moral of the story is everyone needs to play Spider-Man 2 and Hades. Yes, exactly. And Final Fantasy. Did that thing at the very late night to the early dawn regarding to FF17 as a running back. Yeah. Okay. So I need to find my spot. You have to do a lot of counting when you're cross stitching. 1, 2. Let's just count from the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is where it starts, and there's 3. Shit, did I fuck up? Okay, I see. Okay. You're not gonna reveal what it is yet. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about yet. Okay, with cross-stitching, it is easy to make a mistake. So I have to like count and pay attention. Oh, I'm a little hot right now. I need to turn on my fan. Anyway, um, I'm grateful that there are shit. I hate it when it's telling me my bit rate is too low when my bit rate is literally what the recommended thing is. Okay, literally my bit rate's fine. What is going on? Yeah, I think it is too. Is the stream connecting like fine to you guys? Looks like it is stuttering a bit. Yeah, I think it's gaslighting me though. Okay. Okay. You see no issues? Okay. That's good. That's good. Kind of glad he didn't read Hungerstone because there's cannibalism in it. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do cannibalism. I'm very squeamish. Um, yeah, cannibalism is just one of those things. It's why I can't play until dawn. I only watched probably Jacksepticeye play it or something. And when I got to the end and saw that they were Wendigos. Oh, this is a good song too. Dark Colossus Kaiju, yes. Yes, this is such a good song. Um, what's the forest about? If it's got to deal with cannibalism, I can't do it. I did love how we ended the perusal of the woke don't recommend stream thread with a not so subtle roasting of that thread. Yep. Yep. Because it deserves to be roasted. It's like heavily biased and just stupid. I'm like, how about just enjoy the games you enjoy? Let me enjoy the games that I enjoy without making it a big deal. If you don't like that a black person is in it, or a deaf person, or a woman that you're not attracted to, like, doesn't mean that it's a bad game. Just don't play it if that's so offensive to you. If it's just they're literally offended by gay people and people of color existing and people with disabilities existing, they're offended by that. And I'm like, dude, you must really hate life. Because guess what? You're gonna go outside, you're gonna encounter people with disabilities, you're gonna encounter people of color, you're gonna encounter women, you're gonna encounter trans people and gay people. Get used to it. This is life. This is society. It's not all straight white men. Calm down. It's like if you have an issue with woke games, then you clearly have an issue with life, because life is inherently woke to their definition and their standards. You haven't had issues either. Things are fine on your end. Okay, well that's good. I think it's just fucking with me. Anyway, it's just funny. It's just really funny. I'm like, games are inherently political because art is inherently political. Because I even took issue with the Skein game because you can slide the character's body type to be male or female, and you don't have to make them have a gender. That's why you don't go outside. Women are out there and they're scary. Well, it's also like these men, I'm like, I can tell that you've never actually touched a woman. Because women are smart. We do not put up with this bullshit. No stuttering or anything. Yeah, then it's just gaslighting me. Yeah, these people like have never actually touched a woman. And also hate women. And they want a sex slave. You like being scared of men? Hell yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, it's like also like when I'm like going out and about, I'm like I'm like super laser focused. So like people don't usually approach me. And if they do and they're like, "Can I have your number?" I'm like, "No." I can understand it more if they actually made any valid points, but there was nothing. Yeah. And it's just the like the reasonings was just funny. Like, oh, there's a deaf person. And the whole subtly about environmentalism with FF7 made me laugh really hard. I was like, subtly? Yeah, I like not taking great pains to not being a threat to anyone. Yeah, it's like, unfortunately, like a lot of women, most women have had shitty encounters with men not respecting consent and autonomy. And so it's just like you're on high alert all the time when you're going out and about. You have to be constantly vigilant, and it's not the way to live. Favorite part was the discovery of the reason why some games got ignored. I'm just still laughing really hard about Nier Automata. I'm sorry. The world's fucking dying, Shrek. It's hilarious. I'm like, if you're gonna make these claims, at least back it up with like something that's. It just sounds like a bunch of whining to me. Oh no! Oh no, this game has black people. Oh no. There is a booth about Planned Parenthood. Oh no. And it's like, okay, you want teenagers to bring kids into the world even though the fetus could kill them. The fetus could have disabilities. A teenager is not graduated from school and therefore like does not have the financial means to take care of a child, and also does not have the maturity and the brain development to know how to take care of a child, and maybe they need to have options in case something happens. And also like the education system has not properly educated them on having safe sex. Anyway, I could really go off about that because it's an issue. It's an issue. So, like I think it's a good thing to have Planned Parenthood booths for teenagers so that they know how to practice safe sex and what to do in case something happens. Especially since, Roe versus Wade got overturned. So, also, like, I like to quote friends with that kind of issue. No uterus, no opinion. If you don't have a uterus, you are not really allowed to share your opinion when it comes to a female body. I mean, unless you're trans, but that's. I would give anything to see a meme that says if you want to be safe from the threat, have one major playable character's character design best be described as goon material. Yeah. It's really cherry picking. They wanna they wanna feel like they're allowed to goon without feeling guilty about it. Well, they don't feel guilty about anything they do. Anyway, I think I'm gonna do one last thread and then call it a day with this stream. But oh, I should ask this. I guess while I do this last thread. In what ways did you guys touch grass this week? I already talked about the museum on my end. I'm not gonna have a big thing like that all the time because, yeah, I wanna hear. And it can be big, it can be small. It can be something like you went for a walk, you read a book, you did art. I know Dream already talked about playing games with his sister. I'll count that. I definitely count that. Yeah. Then we can end with that since clearly the people that made this list do not go on touch. You haven't done much, TBH, you're PMSing. Girl, that was me earlier this week too. I had a gnarly ass period. I got dizzy spells. So, yeah, in that kind of case, definite big exception for that. Like, if you guys like get sick or you like go to the hospital or, you have a migraine or whatever, don't worry about it. Like, first and foremost, you gotta take care of yourself. That's so fucking important. You'd like take care of yourselves. Like, I want to encourage to touch grass, but also I'm going to encourage that you take care of yourselves. It was in person, and we even made one of the games cooperative. That's excellent. Yeah, that's excellent. I definitely count that. Okay. This was kind of fun. This was like a fun change. Just rant about games, and then I cross stitch a bit, and we just chat. Um, yeah, I think this will be something I'll do every once in a while. I guess like this will also like be a good thing to do once we get more about like more information about part 3. Then like we can like have discussions about it. I think that could be fun, like kind of like what Max does. Um also discovered she knew nothing about Final Fantasy VIII. Oh, well there you go. Yeah, I think like just like spending time with people in person, I definitely count. Oh, you went to visit your niece. I definitely count that. Definitely count that. Uh, I do miss my nieces and nephews. I've not seen them in years, but that's a whole complicated situation. Um, I did meet my nephew on my way over to moving here when I was like driving across the country. I stopped by to visit, and I got to meet my nephew. He's so cute. He calls me alpaca. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, because you know I'm Aunt Becca, and it's like he's 3 now. Yeah, he's 3 now. But he was like 2.5 when I met them. When I met him last year. Um, oh, it's already been about a year because I moved here in July, so I met him in July of last year. Um, yeah, he because he struggles saying Aunt Becca, so he calls me Alpaca, and I love that. It's so cute. She was sleeping a lot, and you're like, girl, same. Yeah, that is relatable. I have been sleeping in a lot this week. I love the music and near. That's gonna be a huge touch grass for me is when I go to that. I'm gonna think about how I'm gonna touch grass this week. I guess I know I do like some activities I've still been um well my roommate's been going to doing a cat sit and like we go together, we listen like she's able to borrow a car from her friend to go do the cat sit. Um so like I go with her and we just yap and I bring this and so I cross stitch while she goes and sees the cats. Um, ooh, some Dragon Guard 3 tracks. Oh, God, just. Yoko Taro is a genius. He's like, yeah, you know, he's not shy about making characters that, like, he likes to go into, but he also makes the games have substance. So it's not just about the gooning, dude. This was fun, I agree. I definitely would like to do more of this, like this kind of format. Um, just like maybe not every week, just whenever I feel like it's an appropriate good time. And today happened to be a good time because I'm waiting for my controller. I can't play a game today. Though I might, yeah, I will grab some footage of Crisis Core so that I can make videos. Which I do need to get into the video essay making mode here pretty soon. I would like to put out a video essay next month, but we will see. So I need to grab footage for both Crisis Core and OG. Okay. So I have one more cross stitch square to do, and then I'm gonna end. Okay, so this is a good educational thing. So to end, like when I have like about that much left, I put it through like the backs of some stitches that are already made. That way it's secure. And then clip it. So, you know, this stream is also a cross stitch tutorial, I guess. Okay. All right, so my schedule is slightly changed now because I picked up a shift for the morning. I try to make my schedule work so I am not streaming on days that I'm working. That way I am you know, parceling out my energy effectively. So yeah, we'll change the schedule from tomorrow to Sunday. I'll stream on Sunday instead. And that way, I should have my controller in by then, because I don't think it'll be coming until tomorrow, after the time I would be streaming. So we'll do Sunday instead. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This was fun. I quite enjoyed this. I hope you guys did as well. We'll definitely do another one again soon. Also, once I know my schedule for the last week of May, I will announce the next book club. Again, we're reading On the Way to a Smile. I'm gonna start prep for that probably next week. So, alright, I'll see you guys on Sunday. Thank you for watching. Bye.